Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So today we will recreate this animation here, and you see I should have done this tutorial longer ago. This is 2 years ago, but honestly I totally forgot about this one. But now we will do this, and and you see I planned it for just a Patreon tutorial, but now it's almost Christmas and we do a tutorial for everyone. And patrons can download already the project files for this one for Octane. But if you download the Octane version, it's easier to make a physical render version out of it, because only you need these textures here. And the other thing is very easy to render here, so this is nothing special. But maybe today we will make a physical render version, so you can download both of this, Octane and physical, and yeah, we will see. So the first thing we do is we do one of these segments here. These are 12 segments here, and as far as I remember, I did everything here in a volume builder, but honestly these segments here we can easily make with a normal bool thing. So this, and the inner one here, this helix thing, I will make with a volume builder. It would work with a bool as well, or it would even work with a sweep if you make a normal helix. But you see here this is not just a helix, this is all in one. This is one cylinder and everything is cut out of this cylinder. So, and of course we will rotate these spheres correctly so that it looks correctly. And you see it goes always from one to the other segment, it goes a little down here. We do this small thing as well, this detail. Yeah, and I will show you how we do this. It's quite easy, so let's start. We start to create one of these segments here in the middle. Good. For this I start with an tube. Okay, and as I said, I need 12 segments, so I need a 12th of this tube here. Let's go to the slice, enable slice, and the 12th is 30 degrees. Nice. So we need only 4 here. This is okay. I'm not sure if I do it the same way as the original one, but it will be slightly the same way. So there is not many difference, but I cannot really remember how I did the original one, and I did not look at it. But it's the first thing that comes in my mind, and so I do it. Now we pull out a torus from this one. We make a torus. So we have here 50, so the torus should be a pipe radius of 25. It's exactly the same, so let's make it a little smaller. 20. Then we need a radius of 75, because here we have an inner radius of 50, outer radius of 100, and the difference is here 75. And now we should have this exactly in the center, here in the middle. Perfect. Sorry. The next thing, I drag this up exactly. I hold my shift key so I get increments of 5 when I drag it. And you see I drag it exactly on top of this, and that looks perfect. So let's make the torus as well, 30 degrees here. And here the same, we don't need. So we have here exactly the same thing. And now let's pull out the torus from the tube. So I make a pull here, drag in the tube and the torus. And I have the bool, you see, A subtract B, so A and the torus will be subtracted. You see, it looks quite nice, but we have this small problem. So let's make the tube in the slice a little smaller here. I hold my Alt key and click on this left arrow key. So I make it, you see, where is that? And here a little bigger. That should, oh, I want the tube and not on the torus. 030, so let's go to the torus. So and so, now it's correct. And that looks quite nice. So, but when we go very close, you see we are not edge on edge. But this we can resolve. We go to the bool and say create a single object. And in the optimize points, I think 0.1 would be okay. No, let's go to 1 centimeter. That's okay for sure. Now I see we are together here. Very good. And now we simply could remesh this whole thing so that we have a nice mesh. So I bring the bool in a null, Alt G, and under the null I bring, oh, don't even need the null, but we need it later. So I bring the bool in a remesh. I select my bool and hold my Alt key and click on remesh. I have it here out in my toolbar, but you find it here as well. Alt, remesh. You see it gives me this, but I want here, let's say 300 density, and that looks quite nice here. We have a very, very nice mesh here. Yeah, it's almost perfect. The only thing what we have here, you see we have hard edges here now. And when we put this in a subdivision surface, so to put this in the subdivision surface, this would not really work. So you see that looks very smooth. But we already see when we go to, but I want harder edges. So I go to the, under my null, I bring in a bool, not a bool, a bevel. So I select my null, go to the bevel and hold my shift key, so that it becomes a child of the null, the bevel, you see. So now I have a bevel here, but I want a solid bevel. I say, okay, here I have a slight problem. Let's go to the metering and set it to uniform. And this looks great. We have a wonderful bevel around. So when we put this now in and NA, you see we have nice wool, but we have this problem with these hard edges here. And the thing what we can do here is easy. We go, so first go to this, and we go to the phone tag and we copy the phone tag here on the bool on the remesh. Let's just copy, control, drag it up to the bool, and you see that fixes this. And now bring this in. We have a wonderful smooth geometry here. That works perfect in B. So I'm gonna see my whole thing here. So with NI, I see the isopalms, and we see we have a great mesh here. But if you have older versions and you don't have the remesh, you can do this quite easy as well. So when you see, this is what we get out of the bool, and we can fix this. But I want to show you how you can fix this if you don't have the remesh or a volume builder or something else. So I copy this bool out here and make here, so I have here everything I need. So I have this optimize and create single object. So I just hit C on the keyboard to make it editable. So I have the bool here. Now I go in my edge mode and select all the edges I don't need. So this you see this obvious edges that we don't need. Even a not modeler knows that this cannot be correct. So, and with MN you can dissolve these edges, or you right click and search for dissolve. It should be MN somewhere. Do not here we have it. You see MN dissolve. So what's going on here now? Let's hide this guy here. So you see that looks nice. Now we have here n-gons, and n-gons we don't want as well, so we make simply cuts here. We cut one here, one here, one here, so we'd have to cut this guy here and this guy, and I hold my shift key so I can add selections, you see, and I cut this in half, and I do this twice. So one half is this one, and then the second half is cut from here to here. Okay, also from here to here. Yeah, we will see it. So with MM I can cut it in half. MM, so M twice, MM, and then I do this again, MM. So you see now we have everywhere the cuts, and now with KK, so KK, this is the cut tool, the knife tool. I want the visible only, that's important. And I want a single line cut here. So I cut from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here. Same I do on this side, here to here, from here to here. Do it on the other side. Here to here, here and here, here and here. And now you see I need a cut from here to here, so I wanna select these edges here, MM to cut it in half, so MM, you see. Same I do here on this side, MM. And now I simply make a cut from here to here. It will snap to the point, so you don't have to be so. Same here to here, and from here to here. And we have a really nice mesh as well. To make it a little more even, we can go with UB, this is the ring selection, and I select these guys here, and MM, so, and we have a nice mesh here as well. And if I put this in the bevel, so I copy out this, control, drag it out, bevel, you see, we have this nice bevel here, everywhere it's exactly the same. And if we put this in a subdivision surface, you see, could have some problems here. Let's go with NH to bring back the number. This shouldn't look like this, but this could be a problem of that we have some points not connected after we cut this. So we simply go to our bool and hit UO for optimize. UO, and you see, okay, now it looks good, but here it still looks not perfect. So what I make is U Shift O. U Shift O brings me in this thing here, and here the tolerance could be too low, so I go here to 0.1 and hit OK. That should do the trick, but see, here we don't have it, and here we have it. Let's see how this looks with N. Go to 4 and to make this. It looks like we have still some problems somewhere. Yeah, you see we have here 2 points, and this is what we don't need. So let's delete this point here, and now it should look, yeah, now it looks okay. This is the nice thing with the subdivision surface. You immediately see if something went wrong. So, but now we have exactly the same thing here. We have a wonderful mesh here without the remesher. Okay, Yeah, so we could simply use this tool for further things, so we don't need this whole remesher thing. Let's work with this one. Okay, I delete these guys here and bring this out, and I can even work for the moment without bool. So, and now we simply clone this guy here. So what we see when we go to our bool, you see the axis of our bool is here in the center of the scene. This is okay. And so let's make a cloner. Clone. The cloner we need radial, and we want 12 pieces and 0. So we have exactly this here, what we want. But the problem here is with this cloner, I could work with the cloner, but I want 12 single pieces so that I can easily texture each one of them different. So I could do this with the multi-shader with the cloner, but this is not the same, so that this does not the perfect job, at least for me. So what I do is I go to the cloner and hit C on the keyboard, so I get 12 pieces here, which I can close, which I can texture even individually. So, but now I want to change height and then something else with this. What I do here is, let's bring this in a fracture object instead of the cloner. So I go to my cloner, yes, bring it in a fracture object. So I selected the null object here, go to the fracture, hold my shift key so that it becomes a child of the null, and simply drag in the whole nulls here. Okay, I want the cloner here the child, because when I bring here the bevel in, you see everything is beveled immediately. This is the thing with the null here. Okay, and in the fracture now, I bring in a simple plane effector. So I select my fracture, go to the plane effector, and with the plane, now normally I bring this whole thing over, I think that I know to where it belongs, but in this case I let my thing out of the cloner here, because maybe I don't know, maybe I will rotate the fracture or the cloner, we will see, but I think I will rotate only the fracture, or it doesn't matter. I go out of here. So otherwise the plane effector would rotate with this. Parameter, we go to position Y and go here to, let's say 100. Okay, but of course I don't want all of them at 100. So I go to the fields and bring in a shader field with a noise, and this immediately looks quite nice. So let's have a look in the noise. This is okay, okay. We can animate the noise now, so let's say 0.5, and I have 8 seconds animation, so I go here to 8. Nice, but maybe I make it with a little more contrast, so the, let's say 25 or so. $50. Yeah, 50 seems nice, but I want 2 of them always at the highest point, so where the sphere later rolls on. So to do so, it's quite easy. We bring in the plane effector fields, another field, and here we can use whatever we want, a cylindrical field, spherical field. Let's go with a spherical field. So here, spherical. I don't know the color here. I don't want the color, but maybe so we see a nicer where it works. And I want this spherical field here. I drag it down so that we are in the middle of this torus thing here. So, and maybe this looks okay. Maybe make this field a little smaller. And now I have two segments of them. They are fully red, so they are full up. Let's go to the remapping here. So something like that maybe. So that means when I rotate this fracture object or the cloner, that should not be the case. Why is it? The shader is out here. Rotate this should be always on top where the spherical field is. Let's go to the fracture. Yeah, okay, so let's make this with let's rotate the fracture object. Now you see where the spherical field is, we are always on top here. Okay, we want to go in the minus direction. So I have here 8 seconds. So I go in the first frame, I go here in the rotation, make a keyframe. Last frame, I go to minus 360. Okay, make another keyframe. So that means when I hit play, that should be a loop. But here I don't like the first few frames where it's here this small thing here. Don't like this so much. Let's and we have again such a small thing. Let's see. Maybe with another. Let's go to this plane effect and set the spherical. At max is okay. This is nice. Shader field. Let's simply try a different seed here. Yeah, that looks much better. Yeah, that looks very nice. Okay. So let's save this. Let's say this is simply name it Xmas. Okay. But why is this one so high? But it doesn't matter when this is so high, but maybe I don't want this very high one. So let's go to here, let's go to this contrast. So something like that maybe. Yeah, that looks now nice. Okay, save it. Now the next thing is this rolling sphere here. So let's make so this is the pieces, but these are the small ones, so the inner ones, not the outer ones. The outer ones we do exactly the same, but we don't need the spherical field because there will be always, they don't have to go on the top. So so if we here in this thing, when we shouldn't have deleted this rig here. Anyways, we make another one of this, because the first one with the remesher was parametric, so I could change everything on the fly. So and here we cannot change anything, but we do it again then. So this is no problem. This is done very quick. So we need a sphere. So we have here 20, so 10 radius. Let's go to the sphere and give it 10 radius. Bring it up to this guy here. Drag it up and hold my shift key so I can. Oh, we could make it 20. Okay, now I'm exactly in this. Yeah, and we need it exactly here in the middle. Oh, it should be there. Okay. Nice. And if we simply rotate it on this, this is very easy thing. So now let's make a simple. With Shift F2, I should see my. Yeah, here it's a little thing. So this is my material manager. I make a simple material here. Just a checkerboard thing. So 2x2. It's just to see easier when how the sphere rotates. So let's make the sphere rotating. So we go to the coordinates. First time in my life, I think I chose the right one of these. Okay. As far as I remember, it's from frame 0. Last frame is, I think, 1800. Yeah. So that would it be if you say, but if you don't need the little hiccup from one to the other segment, like in the original one here, you see. Let's go to this whoop, 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 whoop. This is very slow, huh? Whoop, whoop, whoop. But it looks, this little detail makes it a little more real, I think. So when we go to this one. Okay, let's make this whoop, whoop, whoop. But how did I make this whoop, whoop, whoop? Yeah, you could easily make animate the white position of this sphere, or you can do it with some grayscale plug in this signal, but I don't even have it installed. I have some grayscale gorilla things in here, but this is just shaders and so on. And I only have it because I got it free with the Octane Black Friday thing, so otherwise I wouldn't have it. And yeah, how can we do this? We will make this with this spline. Let's make a cylinder. It's circle splines. We lay it on the floor. So and we had here 70 in the radius, and we bring this up to our bring this guy up to our sphere here. Okay, we have now the sphere here, and we need need on this circle, we need 12 segments at least. So we need at least 12 segments. Let's go to the circle. Uniform is okay, and number 11, so one less, should be 12 segments on the circle. So let's go to the circle and make a current state to object. And when I go in the point mode now, I should see on each of the segment ends I should have a point. This is exactly what we have here. Let's go to the display shading. You see we have exactly on each of them a point. But I want more points. So let's go. Delete this circle. And instead of the 12, 24, 12, so 12, 24, 48, 48, 1 minus, so 47. We get a nice round thing here. And make the circle. I make current state to object. I don't hit just C on the keyboard, because when you hit just C on the keyboard, you see you get only these 4 points here and nothing in between. So go back, and but when I say current state to object, then I have all my points here, and I still have on each of these segments I have a point. That's important. Okay, now I want to select. Let's hide the circle. Everywhere this point where this segment starts. So you see. But if you have a lot of points and you need this, let's say you make much more segments or so, it could be hard, very hard to select these single points. So there we can make another thing. We could make a matrix in a radial with 12 guys and with a radius of 70 in our case. And then bring this guy, this matrix, up to here, to the top of our. So, okay. Now, what I do is I make here on my circle a selection tag. I go in my point mode. Now I can select, you see, store selection. You find it here on the selection as well here. Store selection. See, I have now a point selection. Here I use fields. Don't need the freeze. I drag in my matrix as a point object. And here say I want points, but the radius very small in this case, so that we get only this point we want. So I say here to point 1. So when I hide now the matrix and I double click my selection tag, you see exactly the points I need are selected. Exactly these ones I need. And so we can easily make our selections. So why did I do this? I want to make here a little hiccup on each of this one. So that means I want to bring down this 1 point a little bit. So let's say 1 centimeter. So I'm going back, and I go here to the y-axis and say -1. And now you see I have this hiccup. And when I say to the sphere, current state, it should follow the spline. It will follow this hiccup. But I don't want to have this hard edge. I want to make this smoother. So let's go back so that everything is concerned. And now with UY, I think is grow selection. UY, yeah. And I want this this selection to be a soft interpolation. So right click here and search for my spline. Somewhere I have soft interpolation. Only this 3. Okay, now I double click again on my selection text, so I get only this one. And again I bring this, guys, -1. So now I should have this little smooth. I don't know why, but let's go to my circle. Aha, let's go to adaptive here and do it now with -1. Yeah, now you see I have a smooth curve here. Good so far. Nice. Now let's go to our sphere here. Bring this here in and tell it align to spline. The spline will be this circle here. Okay, one, so this, and drag in the circle. Okay, this is something I don't want, so let's rotate the circle 90 degrees in this direction here. So, stays here. But I want to bring back the axis, so you see the axis is 90 degrees, but this is something I don't want. So I go in my axis tool here, enable axis, and set only the axis back to 0. Okay. Now, when I go to the position on frame 0, I start, and then the last frame I go to 100%. What we get now is something like this. You see, this is not what we want. We have this hiccup inside, but this is not what we want. So that it stays still on this position, I rotate simply the circle in the other direction. So when I go to here to the circle coordinates and I drag the circle in the minus direction here. So the frame 0, last frame -360. So it should stay on top, and it has the hiccup. And we don't have to play here with a line to spline, because we normally I would go to tangential in this case, but then it wouldn't rotate. If you go with tangential, you would have to let's move a null object on the sphere, and inside the null object or on the circle, and inside the null object put in the sphere, and then it would work. But in this case we don't go along the spline everywhere. We need it just in this position, and here that is perfect. And maybe I don't want it exactly on this sphere, I want it a little later, this hiccup, so that it was a little later. We could simply go to the position here and say position 1%. You see it goes, this is too much. 0.5, something like this. And on the last frame I go to 100.5, so then I have it a little later, this whole thing. Yeah, okay. It looks quite nice so far. Let's see if it... Yeah, it does everything I want. Of course, this looks better when we have the bevel on, and when we bring everything in a subdivision surface. Perfect. We have this part, I would say. The texturing we do later. The texturing is a very easy thing. This is just a cubic mapping and put it on. I show it on one thing instead of this guy here. So let's bring in. So clear this and bring in a texture here. So now we have this texture. Bring it on one of the fractures here. Let's say on this one here. You see, even this would work, but here it does not work. You see, it is in UV mapping, but we go to a cubic mapping and we have this. Then I have here something like a little bump map. So when we go to the bump here, drag in the bump map. So the bump, it looks like this here. This is just to have some knitters. You see it here, that it does not look so straight. Here we have this folds. And now I go to say, I have here the coordinates 100, 100, 100. I say fit to object. Then we get this. And then I search for the biggest value. This is 50 in this case. And keep, let's see here, 50. So, and this has not to be exactly the same because you don't know how you would wrap it in. So if you're like me and you cannot do this wrapping anyways, so yeah, something like that. Or again, fit to object. That's, we can now go to the basic text here and set distance, something like that. Okay, here 1.5. Make this. And here I don't like this here. So let's bring it away. So bring it maybe exactly on the edge. So that we don't see it on the inside. Yeah, something you can play with this, and you see, and it goes with it. Okay, and that's all. So this is the easiest thing here. This is really not hard to animate, to textures. So the only what you need is the different textures. Let's go to this. Then you copy this one. Inside, bring in another one. Let's see, what do we have here? Not in the bump, in the color. The bump will be the same for everything. So no, and drag it on the one next to it. But here we could do a different thing. So you see now we have UV mapping and we lost all of these things here. So what we can do here is simply copy this over to this guy. And now when I go above it, you see the arrow down on it? When I go above it, it goes here and it takes over the whole settings. So now we get this, and let's say this is a little too big. Let's go to this guys and make it a little bigger, so until you like it, something like that. Let's bring this up a little, so, and we have the second one, and so on. Okay, Good. So we have this. Whoop-de-doo. And it looks nice. We could even make the bevel a little bigger, maybe. Let's go to 2 so that looks a little softer, everything. But then we see this more, of course. Maybe we could play with this and simply, it will not work really nice, but we can try different mapping methods, but this will not work. Or you unwrap it, but I'm not a really an unwrapper, so but you see remapping, you see this does not work. But the cubic mapping here is quite nice. You can try it with a triplanar mapping, so that we wouldn't see this harsh edges here. But here, when you really think you don't like it, you can play until you find a spot where it's not so obvious. So let's see. But everything moves, so you cannot really concentrate on this one spot. So this is not what I don't like here. Upside. Let's go back. This looks not good here, so let's find another spot until you say, okay, now I'm happy, or not. Or you are an unwrapper and you can UV map this whole thing, but I think that something like that would be okay. Good. Let's continue. Let's do the middle thing. So for the middle thing, we can now go. The matrix is just for our circle, for our selection tag. We don't need this circle here anymore. Let's save this whole thing. What do we have? These are our pieces. Pieces small. Okay. This is the plane effector for the pieces. This is okay. Copy this. Okay. Don't need this guy here. Good. So now we bring something new. So we know the inner radius here is 50. So we need a cylinder with a radius of 50. We have already here. Nice. This we give quite a lot of segments here. Here we will work with the volume builder. As I said, it would be possible with the pool as well, or we could make only a spline. When we do only a sweep, we would see the things behind as well. So when we don't have here, with a sweep it's easy. You can go and make a sweep. So let's make a helix. Let's start with a sweep. I know my tutorials are always a little on the longer side, but lately one wrote me, yeah, but it's good what you're showing in an hour. I could do this in 15 minutes. Yeah, I could do it in 15 minutes as well, but it is, but not with explanation of everything what I do, and I like such comments. But what else? Okay, we have this. We made it higher. Let's see, 400. Give it some more. Make this twice. Not times 2. I want. And now we make a sweep. So for the sweep, let's make I'll make a new file here just to make a profile for our sweep here. Go in front view, make a circle 50 and height, let's see 70 maybe. At 50 will be a little bigger, but we can just make this smaller. I'll make it. Anyway, so and we need a carving here, so let's make a circle, T for scale, something like that, 20, bring this on top of here, so nice. And then we want these gold things as well inside, so let's make another, control drag this to the side here, so maybe something like here, and make this guy so 5 plus, okay, make another one of this, something like this, looks nice. So I bring all the circles in a connect object, connect. Okay, now I make a spline mask. Spline mask. Rectangle, connect. And I want the spline mask along C is okay. And subtract B. Now I have a nice profile. So I copy this spline mask here. Control C, go to my other file, Control V, so I have it here. It should be somewhere here, you see it. And bring it in the sweep. And the helix sweeps, that looks not like we thought it will look. Not even close, but it shouldn't be a problem. We can utilize a rail spline. So I copy this helix spline and bring it exactly under it. In this, not here. That was not what I. Yeah, that's correct. But I wanted this now, and do not use it for a scale. Just and now I can go with this helix and drag it up or down a little bit. Okay, this is the wrong direction. Now we have this inside, so don't bring it up or down. Go back. Make that second helix a little bigger. 51 on both. 51, 51. And now you see we have exactly this slide here. Go to bus, let's see, I want this start and end radius of this one here smaller, let's say to 30, because it should fit inside the segments here, but it's still too big, you see. So what we can do is we can make this whole spline mask here, T for scale, and scale the whole spline mask down a little bit. So now we fit inside here. And we have something like that here now. It looks interesting here, so it looks really nice, but let's make these two helixes plus 720. That looks nice now. This doesn't, but it's okay, it's fine. So, but we don't see the top or the end, so we see just part of it. So. But here we have this again with the ugly font tag, but here it is. Angle and area weighted. So let's see. Why do we have this? This is in the sweep. I don't need the caps. Let's bring. We have it on the sweep, but where do we have this ugly? Let's go to the connect here and go to the circles. Let's go. Let's give the big circle 2. Okay. The small circle is 1. 2. And bring the whole thing in a subdivision surface. Sweep. First we bring the sweep in a null, Alt G, and we bevel this whole thing. So with NB we wanna see my thing. So we don't need as many subdivisions on the helix as well, so let's half this or 100 and bring this down. 1, okay, something like that. And now under the null we bring in a bevel. Let's make the bevel solid. And now we bring this whole sweep in a subdivision surface. And now we have a nice, but you see still we have these guys here. That does not change anything. Yeah, this is it. So, okay. Good. Now we have this. That looks nice. And it goes far quicker and works faster as with the volume builder. So I think I don't even need the volume builder. But I want these inlets here. So let's do that. Save. And now we should be able, if we go to our other project here, and I only want these guys here. So I don't need the big circle here. And I go to this rectangle, bring the rectangle. We have the rectangle 50 width, so drag it over to 50, okay, and go to the spline mask, not intersection, this one here. So I copy this one with the, exactly like it is with the axis here, okay, paste it here, Control V. I name it gold because I will be maybe a gold thing, and I could copy this whole sweep here and bring in, instead of this connect, or instead of this spline mask, I bring in this spline mask gold here. This is okay so far, but I don't want the helix here. I want the same size with for the rail spline. This could be fine. no, the same, so 30 30, I want here this 30 30. Okay, and in this case I want just to move it a little up or down, it doesn't matter. So it should not matter, let's see. It does matter, but no, let's go back to 0 here. It would be on the same place, but I'm not entirely sure. Do I have to make this helix smaller? Normally this should work. It should be exactly, it is exactly the same, but let's select both of them and go to coordinates and go up. No, that isn't it. No, wait. I delete this second sweep again. Bring again this blind mask, the new one, inside here. I created simply again this whole thing. So we have this blind mask and this helix. So I copy out this helix, bring this in a sweep. Boom, helix. Okay, now I take the same helix, bring it down to here, no scale, and bring this helix simply a little down. So when I go to this helix, no, it should work. Or do I have to make it the same, just a little bigger? And then it is here, but it's bigger than it should be. Why is this? Tell me why. Ah, because I made the whole spline smaller. I need the whole spline mask. When I transpose it now, it's just T on this keyboard to make it smaller until it fits inside here. Yeah, now I have it. So it would have gone with this, the same, would have worked with the just copy everything and put in this spline mask, but I brought it down with the size, so that was the reason. So let's go with NB so that I see something here. Let's hide this guy here so we can make here something. So go to the circles, bring it to 2. This is fine so far. This is fine so far. We can bring now this sweep bevel as well. So I simply could bring this sweep inside this null here. Unhide it, of course. So now the bevel works on the second sweep as well. And the subdivision surface works on this bevel on the second sweep as well. So now we have it exactly the same position. Now we have this. Yeah, so we don't have to work with the volume builder here. With the volume builder, it's you simply make a. I show you how you could make this with the volume builder. Let's go to here. First, go to this and save it. So let's make a cylinder. The volume builder is take a lot of them. So make it double the height, 400, make it a little, say 70 or so. That's okay. Put it in. Then we need a sweep. So first I need the helix. And want it 7. So okay, this and this 70. So we are exactly on. Let's bring the up. This guy is at 200. Let us stay on the floor here. Okay. Make the helix 400 as well. Okay. Now what I did, as far as I remember, let's double this, is I made a simple rectangle. Make a sweep out of this. So, sweep here again. So I double this, and I don't want to scale. Bring this a little down, so that's okay. That's fine. And now I bring the cylinder in a volume builder and volume measure. Bring this, subtract, go here to 1 or so. The sweep should subtract from the cylinder. This is not subtract. This is, no, it's subtract. Okay. And I made this with some rounding. Okay, but this is a little too much, so let's go to 10 or so. Yeah, let's give the width, not the width, the height in this case. Let's make it as a little more inside. Okay, then I use the same helix here. Let's say the same sweep, I can copy the whole sweep here, and instead of this rectangle, and I don't need this helix as well, because here I use a circle, so we don't need 20. Okay, let's bring this circle and make the helix smaller, and bring the helix down here. Okay. And you see we have almost this guy here. Okay. Now if we go to the volume builder, bring in a smooth, and now we have now this is how I did the other one. So this was, and here of course you can make this much smoother. When we go to here to 0.5, and yeah, this would be okay. You can work here however you want. So yeah, something like that. And if you want, of course, and bring this back, this is very smooth, very thing. But we can go to the volume measure and say here the adaptive, we make it now we can bring this in a measure and say I want only 10% maybe from this whole thing. And you see I get a nice mesh out of this. But you have to be careful, you see, if you take too few, you won't see this whole thing anymore. But here you can, of course, go to this helix. Why do I have this circle spline in here? What does the circle spline here? Now it works. Let's wait. Yeah, this was, I don't have no idea what the circle spline was here. So now we have this. Okay, so I did this whole thing. If you are interested in this. Okay. Save this, but I think it looks nicer with this one. So now we need the helix again here. So well, one of the sweeps, take this helix here out, control drag it out, so just copy it out. E for the move tool, and I drag this helix a little up here. So, because I want to let run a sphere along this guy, and the sphere, let's make this, let's make, this is this sphere, but I can of course copy the sphere, and here in this along spline I want along this helix, or in this case, no, I don't want this spline, I do it a little different. I go to my sphere and clone it along this sphere, along this helix. Oops. Clone along an object. The object will be the helix here. On count 10, for this we can change later. The sphere is too big. So that looks quite nice. The helix, when we go up and down here, shouldn't be so. And yeah, maybe that's fine like this. Maybe more on the outside. So let's go to this helix and let's go with something like that. Ah, this is okay. And when we go with an offset in the cloner, could we create an offset? That's okay. 0, frame 0, I make an offset keyframe on the last frame. Go to -100 in this case. Make an offset, let's see what we get. And we get a loop here, so this is now the only thing we have to do is that we rotate the spheres. So let's make another. Not this, another surface. Checkerboard, 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 board, checkerboard. Whoop. And let's see in the coordinates. Oh, we have this is already here, but they don't rotate. delete this keyframe with Control, Shift, and click on the keyframes. You have to delete the keyframes here. But for any reason they don't want to. Let's go to the cloner and align clone. Nope. Now it would work, but with the or not. Interesting. Okay. Now let's go into line clones. So it just deactivated reset coordinates. They do not rotate like I want them to rotate. So they rotate all in the same position. That's okay, but no. The first two would be okay. This one would be okay, but this one not. The other one's not. So let's see how we can fix this. This must be possible. Otherwise, it would easily go with align to spline and then do this. Yeah, why not? I could do this with align to spline. But first, let's try it once more. Reset coordinates doesn't. Then we are locked here. Good. This is what we don't need. We have a rail here. Maybe it's the rail. So let's go to the helix. Make a helix rail. Go to the cloner, and in the cloner we put in the rail. That does something. And if we rotate now our spheres, the last one that does that. 3 of them are rotating in the correct direction, but not this guy here. Okay, so let's make the rail object. We go to the target. Let's see what that does. Nope. Well, we have to make the rail spline a little bigger. So let's go to the make here 33. 33, and then let's go to target. Our target is okay, and go to the sphere here. No. And it's a little. Now it works, I think. Yeah, now it works. Yeah, now it works. So it was just to make the helix, the rail helix, a little bigger than in the radius, a little bigger, and here no target. Just bring in the rail spline. So now, when we bring the sphere here to 0, make a keyframe, and I don't know how fast, so go to the last frame and try 1800 as well, and rotate it. Minus 1800. That's strange. Or it's too 60, too fast maybe. Why don't they rotate? They should rotate. Do I need a line clone when I have this raised spline inside? Yeah, a line clone I need, so good. But why don't they rotate, these guys? Here they rotate nicely, exactly how I would like them. Go to 0, go to the last frame, go to 800, keyframe. They don't rotate. Huh. That's fun. Could you tell me why? They count up. This is exactly what I want, but I don't see it. That's really strange. Do they rotate in the other direction? Just for testing purposes. Here they rotate. Huh. Let's make it even quicker. 3600. Aha, the Weber was too slow. Yeah, now it looks okay. Let's go to the last one. Plus 1800. Yeah, now I think we are done. I think they are too fast here, so let's go to 3600. Yeah. Okay, save it. Now I knew that it must go with the offset in the cloner, but it would be easy as well when we do it with line to spline. Making a line to spline, make one of these spheres line from 0 to 100%. Then there's the second one from 20 to 120%, from 40 to 140%. And so you have this line to spline as well. But then in this case you would have to put a null on the spline and the sphere in the null so that the sphere can rotate, because when you make a line to spline you cannot rotate the sphere on it. So okay, that's it. So the only thing we need now is the second thing of this, but you know now this goes quite quick. So now let's make it, why not? So that was, we can hide this whole thing here for the moment. Select all, Alt G, hide it, so. And now let's make a tube. Now we start from outer radius, we make 150, and inner radius we make 100. We need again 12 segments, slice it 30. We go again to the 4 segments here. Then we need the same for the bull. So torus. We need a pipe radius of 20. Here we need a radius of 125. Okay. Bring this up. So here again we make the torus 30. Or in this case we know already, so we need here -100 to set it. We don't need as many here, so for the segments, go to the tube. Maybe it's not a bad idea to repeat this whole thing, as we have this here. Now we know this is here, so single object, one, great. But now I simply remesh it quickly. So bool remesh. This would be enough, but I go to 300 or so, maybe 200. Yeah, 200 looks fine for me. So let's bring a phone tag on the bool. Then Alt G. Bring it in a null. We will bevel this guy here with a solid, and here we need the metering. Metering to uniform. Okay. Everything in a subdivision surface that we see if everything works fine. And everything works fine. Okay, so we can go to this mesh current state object. So bevel under it. Subdivision surface. Good. So far, so good. Save everything. Then we need 12 of them. Let's make here the current state object as well. So I just bake in the bevel as well, so because I know it's fine. And make 12 clones, so 11 clones, not 12 clones. So radial 12 counts, 0. We have everything here, and again, let's see when we bring this inside. That should be exactly 100. Perfect. And here we simply go to the cloner. We'd make C on the keyboard, so we have our things. Bring down the fracture object here. Okay. We don't need it. So, and the fracture object, we know it's just because now we can texture everything itself, and so here we need plane effector with the height in the position Y 100, fields and shader field with a noise. So okay, this is quite nice. And that's with the noise, and then make the noise a little more contrasty so that we get a little more movement inside. Give it some animation speed 0.58 and a rotation as well. So we have this rotated in this direction, let this rotate in the other direction. Yeah, okay. Last frame. 360. And on the first frame, 0. So yeah, that looks nice. Save. Okay. Yeah, that's all so far. So we can put this fracture in the subdivision as well. So this is this one here. It's okay. Let's this outside first. So okay. Nice. And yeah, that's all. I don't think that I have to really do texture now everything here. For this one I just used gold and wood. So which wood now let's make this in the PR. Okay, so PR textures. I have some wood inside here. Something like that. Also bring in a wood texture on our. So which one was? Oh, no, we did this with a sweep here. This is the sweep. Center sweep. Whatever. So the sweep is a nice thing because normally sweep has nice UVs, so we don't have to care about UV mapping here. And yeah, this is another advantage to the volume builder with the sweep, because as I said, the sweep has UVs. So, and a gold material, I make my own default material here. So gold, and gold is in for the physics grinder, is very easy. We don't need even a color, we need only an conductor, custom gold, and we have our gold material. Make it even more glossy, so sweep gold. Nice. Save. So we can use it like this, or what did we do in the original? In the original I just took a floor with a hole in it, so this we did so often in the tutorials, but I'll show it once more. This is not really a hard thing. Let's make a circle around the circle. Give this 20. So how big should this be? 150. Okay. and then we need a rectangle. Just we make quite big, so something like that. Bring the rectangle and this involves in a loft. So first I connect these two guys, or I can simply I am stupid now. Connect these two guys here. Let's see if it simply extrude it. So it's fine. Let's bring this whole thing a little up here. Something like that. And of course now we can make the rectangle as big as we want. So if we go with T for scale and scale it up. How did I do it here? Yeah, okay. Let's make a camera. So 280. So okay, extrude. Give it a little rounding. Round. So okay, that's nice. Yeah, and more is not really to say more. So this is it more than less. So maybe so. Okay. Save camera and fix it. Should I really now take each one of them and make? Yeah, it doesn't matter. So let's make a copy of this and put in something. No, so this one and this one. What's going on here? What bitmap? No, I don't want this. Remove. It thought I wanted the bitmap inside the display, but I want it on my. Not so. Now this works. So take some of them here. So let's make one more. And try again something. Again a red one. Green one. I'm not on top of this. So yeah, but you have to be careful when we do it like this. This is not so clever because we don't get everywhere our the correct UV things what we had. So let's see. The correct one was PC small. This is this. this is the correct one, so delete these guys here. That was not the best way to do this. So what I could do is bring everyone this up. Okay. And the same I do here. Can I drag this? But I think that drags everything on one. Yeah, this is so stupid. Anyways. So now I can drag it on top of the textures, and give this a green one, give this a red one, give this another red one. This is better like this. Let's make another one here. So this is another green one, that's fine. And then let's white one be white one, so copy this one. Yeah, you can fast forward if this is a boring thing, I know, but so we have the physical render version as well, and that's not a bad thing. So let's put this on this one. And this is for this one. And then copy this one, bring in another one. I have so many reds. Reds. What is this here? Another green one. And let's see what we have more. What is this here? Ah, this is a funny one. Good. Will be here. And one for the last thing here. Yes, another white one. Nice. Okay. And here we do the same. So I go through it. So one white, so this one, the green one of this, and one of this. So we have everything. Save it. Then we need something for the spheres. The spheres, I think I did black and gold, or yeah, something kind of black and gold. Let's make some striped material. Do I have something like this? I don't think so. I don't think that this is a good idea with the tape, but let's see what we get with tape. Ah, this is with an alpha channel. This is not a good idea. sphere stays. Don't need that one. So, let's make a new one here. So, and texture. Let's go to effects and no, surfaces. Let's make ties. Stripes. Do we have stripes? We have blank lines. Okay, and here of course we can use other colors. What do I want here? Instead of the red, we can use copy. I want here conductor. Paste. Here, this could work here, but let's see. We need something for the floor. What do I have? Yeah, this is a rough black material. Black and the extrude is the floor, and here in the pump I could use the same pump like we had for the paper, maybe. So what I need definitely is my Nikomedias Scene Rig. So I don't need the floor. I don't need the background here. I need nothing. I need HDRI, of course. And here we could use the same like we had in the original ones. Okay. Now let's go to the render settings, low GI, fine, magic word looks I don't need, output 720, just a still, I want to render just a still now, so Shift R. First save it and then Shift R. I want just it's again this is it does not you have to activate it. It does not, it's not enough when you click on it. No, you have to activate it again. Stupid. Okay, this seems not correct here. But when we go to the sphere, let's go to the sphere, make a spherical mapping. That should do the trick. Yep. don't like the texture of this helix, so of this guy here. Texture is too big here. But we cannot make this smaller. We can try to use a different wood. Let's see if we go to this here color. Try this. Okay. In the bump, I don't need bump. I can have a normal map for this. Okay. And diffusion. I have an AO map for this. And this should work on specular reflection. Shift R. It's much nicer. And this is 1001. Much nicer. Of course, this looks not really nice because of the. I have extreme low settings on here, so let's go and see to our HDRI settings. We can bring here. This is even lower, but we do this just to see the lighting. I don't want it too bright. The reflection brightness, go a little down. Yeah, that looks nicer. Okay. Let's see. We bring this on the other. Where do we have our cloner for the spheres? Of it and bring it to a spherical mapping. And now let's try this with a little nicer settings. And I got a middle GI. 720. Magic bullet looks. No, this is okay. Physical. We can go it down. 20. Where subdivisions. And we can change this to 1 because we can work then with the denoiser. So Shift R. I would play here with the texture a little bit so that we don't have the same texture here and here. Also, here the white ones, and then so we a little mixed up a little more. But this is okay so far. Okay, 24 seconds. This was the first one. This is the second one. And now let's do this with the noise on it. And it can be a little more. We don't see so much shadows and everything, so. And it looks immediately better here with the blurriness. Now we have it nice. This was before, this was later. Okay, I think we are done so far. Save it, and let's see the animation again if everything runs. That looks a little boring with the rolling. I think it's because the lines should be different. So let's go to here, to this guy. Check in the coordinates, and maybe we can rotate this here. So here, this is nothing. 90 degrees here, this one. Now we see it rolling. Okay. We have everything. Okay, if you have questions, complaints, requests, please let me know. I will try that I do this year at least one tutorial more. Maybe I do 2 or so. Let's see, I have some ideas. And next year I think it will be a little better because I decided to don't take so many works. So this year was really busy. So I tried to make every job I could get, but this is not the good way. So it's better to have a little less money, but more time for your family and everything, and more time for things you want to do. It. I still love to do the 3D works, and I still love to work for clients and everything, but less is sometimes more. So I will have more time for tutorials which I really love to do and I really like to do. So we will see. Yeah, that's it for now. I hope you like this again, and thanks to all my followers. Thanks a lot, and a special thanks to all my patrons. They become less and less, but I have some of them. They are just great. So they are here for me. And so I really appreciate that. So no question about it. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I don't want to tell you every time the same boring things, but sometimes hopefully some new guys come and discover my channel or something else, so they should know what I have to say. Okay, good. Yeah, and don't forget, please show me your results if you are done and if you are proud of your work. So I always like to see the results, and spread my channel around the world. Okay, so bye bye. Have a nice. Here it starts to be evening, so it's 4:30 p.m. And yeah, now let's eat a little bit, have a drink, and have a nice day, evening, whatever, wherever you are. So all the best here from Austria, Vienna. Tschüss und Baba.